Hi, I'm Marcy Moore, and I'm the Innovation Specialist at Midwestern State University. Today, I wanted to share a resource website that I've built for the College of Education. The resource site is about applying technology to make assessment more engaging for learners. Today, I will only be introducing how to integrate the app Flipgrid as a formative assessment, so let's get started. If you will first make sure that you're logged into Google Chrome, or at least make sure that you're using Google Chrome, some of the resources I will show you in the site are Google resources. And if you're logged into Google, it makes opening the resources a lot easier. So right here, if you can notice, I'm logged into Chrome. You can log into Chrome and make your entire Chrome toolbar work for you. It will memorize the site. It will hold it for you. So that's a way that you can, and if not, you just need to log into your Google. It will prompt you to do that when you click on some of the resources that we have in here. In the search bar right here, if you will go in and if you will type this link, this is a bit link, and that will provide you to be able to get to this website. So if you can go ahead and type that right into your search bar right up here, you just type HTTP and just go ahead and write that out. And know that the T's right here are capitalized. So when you go to type that in, make sure that you capitalize both those T's. Once you have done that, your site is going to set up, and you're going to see the page just as it is, just as I'm seeing it. If you will, I've set up several buttons, and over the next couple months, I'm going to be sending out webinars on Seesaw and Google Forms. Right now, we're just going to look at the Flipgrid app. So if you'll click on that button, it's going to take you into a Flipgrid resource gallery that I've created for you. And we're going to take our time going through this today. So I just kind of wanted to show you. We're going to work our way down this website through this webinar. And I'm going to show you all of these different resources that you're going to be able to use for Flipgrid. Up here at the top, one thing that I like to do is get your feedback as the person that is studying and learning. So right here, if you'll click on Menti, that's going to open up Mentimeter for you. So if you click that, just click right on that. It's going to open up Mentimeter for you. And one thing that we want to look at is we want to know, I would like to know this question right here. Why do we do assessments for students? So if you'll go in and you will type 663-3017, then you're going to be able to add your feedback over why do we do formative assessments or any kind of assessment. Feel free to go in and give your opinions. And right here, these are some students that have gone in and answered this question for us. And so they've really done a good job. To measure progress is a reason that we do assessment with students, to see what they understand, gauge understanding. I think this one is perfect to assess comprehension. And so those are reasons that we do assessment. And I looked up a blog by Holly Clark, and she did a great job of defining what is assessment. She said to understand the richness of these new tools, which would be the Flipgrid, adding in tech tools, you first need to understand formative assessment. This process is meant to measure where students are in the learning process by applying a diagnostic tool, usually in the form of a question. This can be done through both formal and informal assessments. The informal obtained could be used to modify teaching and learning activities with the goal of helping improve student comprehension. Flipgrid is an incredible tech tool that will make assessment engaging for students and the teacher. So she's done a fantastic job. And if you click that link right there, it's going to take you to her blog, and you're going to be able to see everything that she has to say about assessment and using these new tech tools with it. I think she's done a fantastic job there defining assessment. So we want to look at Flipgrid and what is Flipgrid. And I'm not going to play this video right now, but I've put this video up here for you to go in and on your own. I would love for you to go and look at it. It does a great job. This video does a great job displaying the different aspects of Flipgrid and how it integrates within different platforms. So I think that would be great for you to go and look at on your own. What is Flipgrid? Flipgrid is an app and a web-based platform used by teachers and students. Flipgrid is the leading discussion platform in education. It's a video response system used for student engagement and formative assessment. And Flipgrid is where social and emotional learning happens. Flipgrid builds a community of learning. And that is so important with digital learners in the classroom today. We learn through communities, and tons of students across our nations get connected into communities and learn to communicate and discuss with each other. And so I think Flipgrid has a great function in allowing students to have that opportunity. Flipgrid can be used for grades K through 12 and higher ed. Flipgrid was actually made in the University of Minnesota. It was created by educators, it's ran by educators, and it's used in higher ed. And but it's also widely used throughout education with K through 12 students. Flipgrid is being known as the Snapchat of education, which is great for our digital learners today. And Flipgrid is highly active on Twitter and social media. If you're not on Twitter, I highly suggest you get on Twitter, but you can find a ton of Flipgrid resources through Twitter. The company will retweet you. They want to see what you're doing in your classrooms. And you can just find a ton of other educators and resources through their Twitter. So I highly suggest that you go and look at them on Twitter. I've put another Menti in there about that video. So if you feel like you want to go in and tell us about how you felt, some different words that you heard in that video. I think some words that you'll probably hear are community. You're going to hear digital learners, and you're going to hear about engaging students in assessment. So if you want to add your words in there, you feel free to do that in that Menti section right there. Blogs are a great resource when looking for how to apply technology with assessment. Look at the resources below. So all of these resources here that we've put in here, I found on Twitter, and I wanted to show you how I did that. I went into Twitter, and up in the search right here, I put hashtag Flipgrid Fever, which will come up right here. And then if you put assessment behind it, right here, then it will bring up tons of resources by educators. If you look right here, that is where I got the resources for you on assessment. And so this is a way that you can do that. Very easy. Flipgrid is integrated all over Twitter, and it's a great place to find your resources. So I have found and actually put a lesson in here that is an example lesson of a fourth grade dialogue performance and task for Flipgrid, but it's a great example to show you how you can make an assessment fun and engaging for students. If you click right here, it will open up for you. And because I already have it open, it will go right into it will open up. If you are logged into Google, it will open right up into your Google Slides. And so if you click right here on File and make a copy, it will allow you to go in and make a copy of this so that it's editable for you. So you can use that as well, and it will make a copy of it right into your Google Slides so that you can edit it the way you need. But she's done a fantastic job. Her name is Mrs. King, and if you click right here, she actually goes through the instructions for you, and you can watch that. You can click there and watch her instructions on how to use it. But she's done a fantastic job of making this super engaging and fun. And this is all about assessment. And it's about how she took an assessment and made it engaging for young learners today. And using Flipgrid, she integrated how you could take all of this lesson and then put it into a Flipgrid video. So I thought that would be an excellent resource for you. She also has different, I wanted to give you the rest of her resources. She put in a creative dialogue. So this is ancillary material that you could give to your students that makes Flipgrid have validity. So whenever you're going in and you're giving an assessment and you know that you need some writing or you need the students to have some validity in this assessment, right here is a resource that she's made. And again, you would just hit File, make a copy, and that would be editable for you as well. I think that that's a phenomenal resource for you to apply to Flipgrid. And then she's also made a fun checkoff list. And I am a huge proponent of checkoff lists whenever you're doing an assessment or using a tech tool. Your students need to know where they are. So she's actually made bookmarks. Now for higher grade levels, you would do something cool, make it cool in some way. But for younger kids, this is kind of a checkoff about where they are in this assessment process and how they work through the lesson that was there. So I really feel like if you have something like a rubric or a checkoff list, this really helps when you have this kind of ancillary material to go with your assessment. It gives validity to technology, and it lets the students know that you're going to be taking up and looking at different things that they're going to provide for you. So I've put her blog in here, and so that you can go in and see those resources and make sure that you. She has other resources on her blog, so that's a place where you can go and check it out. I've also put in another blog that talks about 5 different ways to use Flipgrid in the classroom. It is with assessment. These are different ways that you could make assessment look fun and be engaging for your students. And one would be book talks, jigsaw presentations, number talks. Flipgrid assessment in math is always a pain. Students don't like it. Teachers don't like it. I saw on Twitter last week, I actually retweeted a teacher that used Flipgrid, and she had her students speak out word problems on Flipgrid, and it made it more engaging and more you could see the comprehension for students during that process. So I really feel like this is a great tool whenever you want to make math assessments more engaging as well. And then there's a place to do classroom community. Flipgrid has great resources for allowing students to create that community, give each other peer feedback. And I really think that you will enjoy that as a teacher, being able to see your students help each other. STEM demonstrations. STEM is an excellent way to have assessment, and the fact that you could use Flipgrid to record their STEM product, whatever they made, that has to go with their assessment. Assessment doesn't always have to be writing. It doesn't always have to be the written word. It can, or multiple choice or answering questions. Assessment can be STEM related. When a student can build a product to show you the knowledge of the content, that is an incredibly powerful tool, and students will remember it. And so this is a great way that you could use Flipgrid and also understand that they've produced that with STEM and they're learning STEM skills as well. So I've there are tons of educators on Twitter, and that's where I got a ton of my resources. And I know I've said that, but it's a community out there, and Flipgrid Fever is a great place to go to find what other educators are doing. So I've put in here just some different types of Twitter feedback that I saw for different ways that educators were using Flipgrid with assessment. So here's a music one. It really doesn't matter what content area you're in. Flipgrid is accessible across the board, and it differentiates across the board. And so that is a fantastic part of this tool. So if you go in, you can read those on your own, and they just have some great feedback about how they're using it, and about peer feedback is a great thing. And I just think that you would really enjoy looking at all of that. And all those resources were found on Twitter at #FlipGridFever. So another thing that I've put on here is an example of a science assessment. And if you click this, this is an actual student showing a science assessment that they have done. And I'm not going to click on that for you, but I want you to click on it, because when you click on that, it's going to bring up a student. So I can show you how that would work. When you click on it, it's going to bring up a student right here, and when you push play, which I'm going to go ahead and pause it, but when you push play, you're going to see a student's work, and you're going to see him giving answers and showing that he understands. So they had a written assessment here, and then they used Flipgrid to come in and put it together. This is a really great response from the student, and you realize when you look at this how engaged the student is, and that he's not going to forget the material that he put in here. So I do want you to take time to go look at that, because I think it's really quality, and it shows how incredible Flipgrid is as a tech tool. So some other things about Flipgrid before I go in and I show you Flipgrid and show you different parts. I hope that you've downloaded the Flipgrid app, and if you haven't, then I will show you. You would just go to use your phone and your device, and you would download that Flipgrid app. Right here are resources that you can go into, and Flipgrid has a ton of resources for you on their site, and I've put some in here. This is a full teacher's guide. When you click it, it comes up. It's in a PDF form, and it is a full guide on how to set up a Flipgrid from start to finish, and it's a fantastic guide. Also, I've put the sign up for a Flipgrid. So if you click this, it's going to take you right into the Flipgrid site. It looks like this, and it's going to open up, and it's going to take you right into here so that you can go into educator login. I suggest you go ahead and sign up and be an educator on Flipgrid. Even if you're not quite certified yet in teaching, this is just a great tool to have, and to be able to market yourself. And if you go in, it's completely free. And Flipgrid was fully funded last year. And so this is a completely free resource to you, and a great assessment tool. So the other thing, Flipgrid has resources. If you click this picture right here, it's going to take you to, which we can just click on it. It is going to take you to the website, and it has a ton of different resources inside here. They have webinars that you can look at. They have just a library in there that you can use. So it's a phenomenal place to click on and go. And then here they have, Flipgrid has a discovery library. So I'm going to go ahead and click on mine. They have a discovery library that you click on, and you can go in here and you can decide what topic, like who your people are, who your audience is. So if it's elementary school, and let's say that it's the performing arts, you can go in, and these are already made resources that can help you build assessments. Some assessments are already in here, and you can go in and you can find different products that are already made for you that you can just copy and go into and use. So that is a phenomenal thing. The Discovery Library is. One other piece of resources that I've put in here for you is a Flipgrid hyperlink hyperdoc. And if you click right here, it's going to open up for you. But this is a great hyperdoc. I always encourage educators, if they are going to implement a tech tool, to go ahead and walk themselves, maybe through a learning experience. And this Flipgrid hyperdoc does a great job of walking you through each place that is hyperlinked right here. Sometimes you'll go into one of these and it will open up a folder of resources, of already made resources for you. So if you will just kind of work your way through here, it's engage, explore, explain, apply. So you're just going to see, it kind of works you through why Flipgrid is so amazing and things that you can do with Flipgrid. And so I always want to give educators an extra resource to be able to go through and find what they need. The last part is I put an assessment together for you. And so if you have the Flipgrid app, then this is what your assessment. So the last part, just so that you can engage in into the Flipgrid experience. If you have the app, you will go in and I'll show you what it's going to look like. Let me go in here. So if you have the app, you can put in the password, which I have. I've put over there to the side for you. Mine is 2018 capital PASS. It's capital. It's 2018 pass, and then the P is capital. So we can click that and look. And what we can do, we have a student in there that has completed the assessment. And so what you are going to see is if you go into your Flipgrid app, you can put in this code right here. And you can respond just like Carl here has. So you would click this green plus, and then it is going to walk you through. It does have you authenticate, which is fine. This is kind of a new part for. Okay, it's going to have you. And you're going to allow. And this is going to walk you through. So you would click the red and you will record yourself. Okay, you will record yourself and everything that's in there. It's using the webcam there. And you would push stop. It's going to show you your recording. And then you will click the green arrow. And you're going to say, yeah, that's okay. Then it wants you to snap a selfie. And so you can snap a selfie. And then you can go over here and you can put some really cool emojis on here. That's the cool part about the Flipgrid experience, is it allows students to make this their own, And this is part of the engaging the digital learner and making assessment creative and fun. And this is part of that. And then you're going to click submit, and it's going to, because you've put your name in, it's going to already say that is there. And so we'll complete that. And so once you've answered your questions, so right here were the questions, and it will walk you completely through. So it's asking you questions. That's what the teacher does, is ask you the different questions, and then you will go through that process that I just showed you to answer those questions. And so feel free to go in and do that assessment just so that you get some experience with Flipgrid. I do want to show you some resources that I've put at the bottom of this. If this is a great resource, he does a great job walking educators through all the steps of creating grids and topics, which is a great resource for you. This video is a great resource for showing your students how to respond with Flipgrid, a great introduction video for students. And then she also does a great step-by-step video on to use with students on what it's going to look like and how to do that. And this is something that you can show right before you start this with your students to try to introduce Flipgrid and say, these are the steps you're going to take to actually physically use Flipgrid. So these are great resources for that. Right here, I'm going to go ahead into mine and I'm going to show you there are, when I click on my grids, these are grids that I've set up, and a grid is basically like a Google Classroom. And it's like that, but it's your Flipgrid classroom. And so you can make as many as you want. So if you teach, let's say that you're teaching in the secondary and you have multiple classes, so you could go in and make an individual grid for each class. And once you have a grid in there, then you make topic cards. And topic cards, whenever we looked right here, this is a topic card right here. So you will make a topic card that actually tells the student what they're going to do inside their video. And so that is something that is super useful. And so a way that we could do that is I'm going to show you whenever you're making a new topic, you're going to name it, title it, you're going to put your instructions here. I like to always say task or let them know what they're going to be doing. And then I make it very clear, like either bullet it or number it, just so that they can understand exactly the steps that they need to take in their video. You will want to, if you want to moderate the video, this means the videos are moderated and that you must approve them before they become visible to your other students. And so when they come into that grid, so I turn that off a lot because I work in higher ed. So I turn that off because I don't really feel like I need to moderate. But if it's a quiz or an assessment, you would want to moderate because you don't want everyone to see each other's answers and then go back in and create another video or see, the different answers. One thing that you can do, that GIF that you saw on mine. So let me go. That GIF that you saw on mine of the girl going in and out, that is, you have the ability to go put GIFs in. You could record a video of yourself telling the students what to do and what you expect from them and what they need, and you can record that and put that in there. You can go put in a YouTube video if you wanted to, and you can have that to put in there and have it as a resource, like they need to go look at this video and then tell you something about it. And then you can also do images. So this is really great for if you were doing a writing assignment, a writing assessment, or free writing or creative writing, or maybe art, something like that. You can upload a picture and have them explain it to you, or even history. This was a point in time in history, and show a picture and have them write or tell you about it. You can also put in websites. So you could put in any URL, so any kind of web-based that you wanted them to go to. So maybe you were telling them, hey, go to this website and you need to tell me about it in a Flipgrid response, items that you learned. You can put that inside of there. And then I have mine on public. And so you can change that if you want to. You can allow to include an external link. You can do that as well and change the different external users. And so you can also do feedback. You can do custom feedback. So this one would be performances and ideas, but you can go back and you can do custom feedback if you click that, and it will walk you through how to do a custom feedback. That's the great parts. And then once you have that, you have an assessment like this. And you can also inside here just attach different, if you needed them to go into a Google Sheets or a Google Doc, you would go into that URL part and you could put in here different materials that they could access in order to answer a question. The cool thing as well about Flipgrid is the sharing option. It goes immediately. If you click here, it would make an assignment for you in Google Classroom. You can go in and get this right here. You can copy that and you can email that out to a parent. You can send it that way. If you have a student that maybe isn't acting appropriately, you can make theirs inactive, or you have a student that leaves. You can do a lot of different, you can download, you can duplicate, you can download their selfie, which is a great thing for, let's say that teachers in the beginning of the year, if you wanted to go in and have each kid make a selfie and do all that, you can go in and have that be an assignment where they make a really cute selfie. Then you download those selfies and you have pictures automatically for your students. That's an awesome thing for elementary, probably high school, anybody that would want to use it. And so they have amazing actions over here that you can use and do. So it's just a great tool, not only for assessment, but it's used for a lot of different stuff, but it's an amazing, engaging tool for assessment. So if you needed to contact me or you want to communicate with me more about Flipgrid, then you could go right into that contact, and my name is here, my email is here, and my Twitter account is here. And this is also my educational site that you could go into, and you could find out more about me if you wanted to. So those are the different items that I have for you about Flipgrid. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned a little bit. Have a great day.